you a homeowner and you're wondering how to properly price your home to sell it for sale by owner? In this video, I'm going to break down the top 4 things right here that determine the price of your home. And this last one might actually really surprise you. Let's get started. How's it going, guys? I'm King Jerome. I'm a Wisconsin-based realtor as well as an FSBO expert. And like I said in the intro, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 4 things that determine your price. Number 1, and you guys hear this all the time, interest rate. Those interest rates, because you guys hear this all the time on the news, you hear this in emails or read it in emails from realtors and from lenders that, hey, rates are down, perfect time to buy or sell. When in all honesty, these interest rates are really only affecting the buyers, right? Because most of the time, about 90% of people who are actually buying a home are probably using some funding, right? They're using a loan, whether that's through a private company or that's through a bank. A lot of times they need to get a loan, and their interest rate a lot of times is going to affect that. So if you have your home priced in a way that maybe it's out of their means, especially for the bank when it comes to comparables, I'm going to talk about that in probably step 3, then things are not going to go really so well. But in all honesty, interest rates should not really affect what you price your home at. But it's a little more complicated than that, and we're going to cover that. Number 2, and this is a big one that gets a lot of people, especially with the current administration we have in office. Tariffs. Are tariffs affecting my home price? Yes and no, right? I see a lot of tariffs affecting building materials. So if you are buying a brand new home, you're going to see that. You're definitely going to see that. If you have, say, a 4-bedroom, 2-bed house, or 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, excuse me, like I do here, and let's say in my neighborhood, there is a few others, let's say not even in my neighborhood. Let's say a quarter of a mile down the street, they're building a brand new subdivision with a bunch of brand new homes, 4-bedroom, 2 baths, similar square footage. And let's say my home right now is priced around, about $230,000, pretty average. Let's say these homes in the subdivision are being sold at $500,000, right? $500,000. These tariffs are going to affect my home price because when we pull comparables or comps for similar homes with the same amount of bedrooms, baths, square footage, and those are all $500,000, and say they sell at that price, my property value here is going to start going up because there's going to be some people who maybe don't want to pay that much, but they're probably willing to pay a little more to be within the vicinity. So my home price, because of these tariffs, can actually go up. And that's a good thing for you, not necessarily a good thing for a buyer. As a matter of fact, you might notice this if you are currently selling your home on your own and you're building a brand new place that you want to go move into. You're going to notice it there, right? That the price hike is much higher for all these materials and things like that. This is part of it. The third one, and I've been talking about all this time, local comps or comparables. So to give you a little more in-depth understanding with this, I'm sure you guys already know, but in case you don't, the way we realtors come up with our price, and it's the same thing that the appraiser is going to do later if you're on the buying side. We find homes that are similar to the ones that you have. Let's say you have a 5-bedroom house and let's say 2 baths. We're going to try to find all the similarly properties to yours, other 5-bedroom homes with 2 baths. If we can't find any, we're going to drop down to like the 4-bedroom, 2-bath as close as possible to that home. And there's like little plus minuses to a few little things depending on what you have, because you have a whole extra bedroom than the others do. So your price obviously is going to be a little higher, but maybe not too far off. A big misconception that a lot of people have, and it's heartbreaking, and it just sucks that your home price is not determined by the amount of money that you put into your home, right? No one knows the value of your home better than you do, because all the TLC that you put into it, all the sweat equity, renovations, everything you've done. Say you've put $100,000 worth of work onto this home, but all the homes in your neighborhood are still between $200,000 and $300,000. Unfortunately, your home is probably not going to go higher. It could, it definitely could, right? It can be on the very high end, but it's definitely not going to be into the $500,000 like the brand new subdivision, right? So that's something that's hard uh, to accept a lot of times, and that's why using a realtor. And again, this video is not to promote realtors or anything, because I believe if you guys are on this channel, you're looking for a way how you can do this on your own, right? So we as realtors, we're not emotionally invested into your property, into your home like you are, because you've been living there for years and you've built up all this equity in the home that honestly, a lot of times, a lot of realtors will take that for granted or can't really relate because it's your property, it's not ours. So, local comps. The last one that I was mentioning that might surprise you, and it trumps all of these. People, this right here, this is all that matters. This trumps interest rate, tariffs, even your local comparables. Look, I don't care what your favorite realtor says. I don't care what your lender says. I don't care what your neighbor or your coworker who sold their home successfully for sale by owner 5, 7 years ago tells you. You may have all of these right. You might have perfect interest rates. You might not be being affected at all by tariffs. Your local comps, the way you price your home is picture perfect. But if the people are not willing to pay for that price, that is what you need to price your home at. A lot of times, what solves the issue with having your home sold, it's either usually price or it is the presentation of the home. Let's go back to the example where you put in $100,000 worth of work into your home. If your home presents so well, it is beautiful, it is immaculate, you better believe you can probably get away with pricing it the way you want, and someone is probably willing to pay for it, right? The problem with that, and this is a trap that a lot of FSBOs fall into, because you want to price it high. Of course, you want to get as much money as you possibly can. But going back to interest rates and the lender, they send out their appraiser, and the appraiser is going to value your home based on these comparables. And what these comparables do for the appraiser and the appraiser gets those comparables, brings it back to the lender. The lender, let's say this appraises out to average of 2 to 300,000. Let's say they say 220 is what they're willing to pay, right? That they're saying that's what the value of home is and what the average sale price is for this style of home with the same amount of bedrooms and bath and square footage. This is all the bank is willing to lend to the buyer. So, in at least in Wisconsin, we have contingencies, and they have this in every state. A lot of times it might be worded a little differently, but it's a way out for the buyer to get out of the deal if they are unable to cover the gap between what the bank offers them and what price you are asking for the house. So let's say you want $300,000 for the house. Let's say you listed it at $300,000. The buyer likes it, submits an offer. but the comp only comes back at 220. Your buyer has to come up with $80,000 to make this work, unless you drop your price down to this number or number closer that they can attain. Okay? So that's a big trap that a lot of FSBOs fall into. And it's just really important that you understand this. That this a lot of times people they are the market. What they are willing to pay you. A lot of times when you have a lot of investors come through and they lowball you, you're like, why are you guys lowballing me so much? It's not that they can't pay it. Investors, they don't have to worry necessarily so much about this. They sometimes do, depending on how they're trying to fund their deal, which is, the whole real estate transaction with your house. But a lot of times they do have all the funds that they need to buy out your house straight cash. The thing is, they don't want to tie up all their money into a single property because an investor wants to be able to invest in a whole bunch of other properties. They don't want to put it all with one single house. So that's why a lot of times you're going to get a lowball offer, and those suck. They really do. But people are the market. Whatever people are willing to pay for your home is what you are going to get, unless you either drop your price or you take it off the market temporarily until things get better and you relist it. And in that time, you can do some fixing. You can work on the presentation of the home because, as we talked about, that is what matters. Make sure you check out the description down below if you're watching this on YouTube. I have some download things there where it will help you calculate out the price for your home. I even put together a little calculator that you can use. If you need any assistance, if you're watching this on Facebook, just reach out to me, send me a quick message. I can send that thing right over to you. But I really hope this was helpful for you. And let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. And until then, I'll see you guys on the next one.